Good evening, everybody.
Is it?
I think it's excuse me. I think it's a pretty good evening. Apparently, I just lost my voice right at the start of the stream. Other than that part, it's going
Challenge
great.
this assessment.
You challenge this assessment. What's going on with your evening?
Prove it.
Prove it. Okay. Well, you know what? That's a good segue because playing a detective game, which there's a good chance we're wrapping up tonight. Hey, Al. Objection. Yeah. Well, that's if we were playing Ace Attorney, that would actually fit really well. We're not. We're playing Tangle Tower, which has also been very good and full of cute characters. So I don't know. Maybe we are playing an Ace Attorney game, at least in spirit. But yeah, so we're gonna try this one out and see how it goes. We are once again trying out a new audio setup, so apologies in advance. I think I've gotten time to test this one this time, so y'all let me know if the audio is a little bit blown out or too quiet. So we'll just let me know in the chat if things are wonky. But at least the testing seemed like it went well. So hopefully everything is configured. Back hurts and I've repeatedly attempted and failed to go to urgent care about it. Ay, 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 I'm sorry. That sounds... Yes, I agree, Jasmine. That sounds awful. Ay, 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 ay. Well, let's distract from that. What with this thing? Because that does not sound fun at all. So now it really seems like burden of proof is on us about this being the better night. And why is... There it is. Okay, it took me a second. At least I have a cat sitting on me. That does help. Hey, Bedroad. Urgent care couldn't do anything about my back. They said they couldn't see a problem. Well, that also stinks. Man, just... Wow, we were batting zero on my end here tonight, hey? So, I think you're onto something here, hon. Apparently it's not a great night. Well, let's see if we can change that. Yeah, you nailed it. So we've sent...
Also, for the back thing, consider scheduling a session with a professional massageist.
Consider scheduling a session with a professional masseuse masseur. I think is the professional title.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've met all the ghost people. We've unlocked 5 suspicions out of a potential 8. So hopefully we'll get the rest of those tonight. And yeah, that's where we're... I asked for Jasmine's opinion. I always wanted Jasmine's opinion. Alright, so let's see. I think the people I didn't really intend it this way, but I think hey Bob, I think the people that we have gotten our suspicions confirmed with are all of the femme characters, because Fifi and Puffy we started with, and Flora, and then Hawkshaw and Penny. So we need the 2 family patriarchs, Felix and the Professor, and then Fitz the gardener. So up until this point, we've unlocked those by either asking them questions or asking questions of like the people connected to them. So we might unlock Fitz's by talking to Penny and Poppy because they're connected. That's right. In poking around in Penny's room, we got that the wall was warm, which suggests that this is a hidden room. So yeah, let's poke around in here in Fifi's room and see if we can... The angle that this room has us looking at...
Nice room.
It's a mess. But yeah.
I don't think... Because our... Like, it's kind of behind us, unfortunately.
We already solved it.
Alright. Okay, that's just telling us what that is. Actually, on that note, let's see, have we... This was the egg puzzle. This was the little figurines. This was the door. This was the key. This was the paintbrushes. Was there a puzzle in the library? Was there a puzzle in here?
A chalkboard.
Is this a library or a classroom?
Was this a puzzle? Or is this just a thing to be looked at? Because we can't really interact with it.
Not a clue.
It is pretty. I mean, in a mathematical sense. Maybe it's water or something. The entranceway had a weird column of water. That's true. We haven't poked around...
Learned anything from that.
There's the snow globe, but that's not actually a puzzle, I don't think, or at least we haven't. We got an achievement for looking at it.
Model of Tangle Tower. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing...
Okay, so I don't think there's a puzzle in this room, or at least I don't remember one. But there's been a puzzle in every other room, so we'll have to keep this just mentally around. I also don't think there was a puzzle in here. There's the harp here, which we haven't solved yet, but we think one of the symbols in it might point to the music room. There's also this thing that we had as a puzzle. This had the clock. There was something in here. I think we solved it. There's this
A little
thing.
chart of. Actually, I have no idea what it's about.
No, we haven't solved this. Okay. We don't know what this is for. It's 7 numbers and a bunch of Greek
What do you make
symbols.
of it?
Not a whole lot.
Okay, so we've got 2 sets of symbols. Come back here. Come back here. Let's look at those closer together. Come back here. Come
A
back here. Come back here.
chalkboard.
Is this a library or a...
Okay, so... Alright, these go to 8. Interesting. That's right, baby. Arthur, would you like to weigh in on this? Come on up, bud. I wonder if... So, the connections here also has me wondering... Chalkbow. Alright. Is there... Let's go to Fifi's room real quick. Is there...
Fifi's got something?
What is all this?
And then there's this. Which has... the... Greek symbols and calculations. So we've got, like, the... We've got all the various pieces. But I don't know... The fact that we can zoom in on them makes me think that they are important.
Is Fifi trying to solve the mystery with math equations?
Maybe. Did you ever try that?
I keep wondering if this is something that we'll be able to come back to.
Is Fifi...
Maybe. Did you ever
Okay,
try that?
clicking on specific pieces of it doesn't seem to change anything. Can we click on this behind it? Because it clearly looks like there's more back here.
Did you notice who isn't?
Freya?
Has that gone into our notes? Can we talk to Fifi about it? No, we also haven't found the other half of this. Combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. Destroy it? There may not be another sheet. Okay. You're right, we haven't gone back to talk to Felix, and Felix is one of the people that we need a suspicion from, so that's on my list. I'm trying to unlock Fitz, and then I got distracted by this whole... the chalkboard thing. I think it was Penny or Poppy... It might have been Fitz himself who said that Fifi doesn't like him. Have we actually asked Fifi about Fitz? So I have not much to go on this, but... Okay, let's go back to the map for a second. So, I'm gonna theory craft out loud here. And this is a very long shot, so please bear with me. So, Penny and Fitz are engaged. Poppy and Fitz... Poppy may be infatuated with Fitz. We don't know if Fitz reciprocates. But they were meeting in the secret garden between their rooms, and Fitz gave Poppy a rose, classically at least seen as a romantic gesture. Freya drew a painting of that, which the three of them saw, and Fifi was also, I think there was mention at some point that Fifi had been, like, crying or brooding before Freya's death, which we still don't know what that's about. There's a part of me that's actually wondering if there's a chance that Fifi may have a crush on Poppy and is broken up because she thinks that Poppy is in love with Fitz, and that's why Fifi doesn't like Fitz. Again, this is a long shot, but I can't remember if we've actually asked her about Fitz yet. We haven't.
Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist?
Yes, thank you. I was wondering about that too.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Hey, thank you for the raid, Annie.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so.
Hello,
You're
Jasmine.
Over 6 foot and you've got to be just barely 5.
So, what's your problem?
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer.
Hey, Freya.
He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying a knife.
Oh. So there is a knife in the mix. It's just not what was in the painting. You know, while we've got you here, we haven't asked you about the tower.
What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens.
What have you got? A knife?
Be
No.
worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like...
It's a good point, Bub. Oh. Sound like her. Sound like Freya? Let's ask about this beetle we've learned about.
Now this is interesting. Where did you find it?
In the astronomy tower.
And yet, it does not concern the field of astronomy.
What a look.
In fact, you could even say that entomology is the exact opposite of astronomy.
Yeah. You could.
I would not say that, however. No, it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections between all matter in the universe, living or inanimate.
Yeah, we guess. Did we even have this photo last time we were here? Let's ask you about this.
Who? In the photo?
That was a reaction?
I'm quite sure that I have no idea.
Okay. Let's ask about the drawing, if my suspicions are right.
There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Hawkshaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz.
Oh. Oh, okay, hang on. Okay, letter?
Curious.
Alright, that gives us very little. Alright. Well, let's see. If we're trying to get more on Fitz, let's ask about the plants.
The fruit here has a unique chemical makeup. It makes them completely pointless. Unless you wish to cut it down and sell it as a precious stone.
It's not edible.
Depends
On what?
on the structural integrity of your teeth.
Fair. And this was the plant that Penny had that died.
It is a flower. It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what.
Fair. Oh, we gotta ask about Flora's drawing, see if she remembers the baby bird.
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
But she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother. Like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
Let's see. Oh, sure, the models, yeah. Let's see. This was the hidden one. This is the one that was out, I
Wooden
think.
carving of my father, made by my father. Although
The squint.
at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint. It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
A model of Flora, you mean?
And a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya?
Alright. Gosh. Oh, yeah, the harp.
The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp.
Yeah, join the club.
Meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are.
We are. I mean, I are. I don't know if Grimoire is. How about? I don't think you're gonna have anything on this note, but let's check.
Who is this her to whom the message refers?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Then how can I meaningfully evaluate this object?
Yeah, that was a guess. Yeah, so I think the symbols on the harp correspond to rooms. So the piano keys are the music room, the bird is the aviary, the lips might be the secret garden because it's like the lover's room, and the bell might be one of the towers if it was like a bell tower. Oh, we haven't asked you about the tape.
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Fair.
But why?
I do not know why.
All right, well, that confirms that. You know what? We haven't just straight up asked a lot of people about the case.
I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with...
This is really the best person to ask about the case file, actually.
She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which, as a mere abstract representation,
We should have opened with this before we had much more of our data.
been stabbed by the concept of a knife.
Let's ask about... we've asked about the cool thing. Oh, let's ask about this thing.
Why did Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue?
What makes you think it was Poppy?
The statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be?
Mm-hmm. And then the gramophone.
The phone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did...
Okay.
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
All right, that's something. And the cassette, probably not going to get us much. You don't have any reason to know about birds. At some point, we're just going to end up exhausting everything. Is there anybody we haven't asked you about? Yes, lots of people we haven't asked you about. We'll come back. We'll come back. I think we're fishing at this point. Ooh, nice!
Pointer Tower.
The knife thing. The knife thing got us what we needed. Ceci n'est pas un couteau.
Let's ask him about it.
Let's go! All right, 1 of 3. Let's go. I love the eyes thing every time.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer Tower. Holding a knife.
That's
Oh,
right.
Pointer Tower.
Don't go into Pointer Tower.
That's the other tower. I misunderstood.
Don't sneak. Was it Fifi who
Oh,
told you this?
it was the trowel,
Know that.
A guess. She
is my
liked
guess.
me very much.
The engagement trowel,
Yeah, she was.
which is
mistaken.
still a fun
Maybe
term.
She wasn't wearing her eye lens.
Oh, Al, you got to the same place.
What did Grimoire?
Phoebe did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
Let's see. An ornate trowel is part of a matching set. Penny. Hang on, let's see. An ornate trowel is the only thing that can destroy Poppy. No. It was used to bury. Is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room. That would be interesting. Although this looked this did not look like it was very well taken care of. So let's see. Used by Fitz to cut. That would be very odd. It is part of a matching set with Penny. Was used to bury Puppy. No. Let's start with this and see what we get.
An An ornate
Oh,
troll
all right.
is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower,
Yes?
I've never seen it before.
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
Is it... Actually, hang on. Is it the other potted fruit? Is it... It wouldn't be the crumpled letter, because that's a different set of petals. I assume it wouldn't be the potted flower itself. We could try the potted fruit because it's the same soil. The soil is made by Fitz using water from the lake. Fitz uses this unique blue soil to grow all his plants. There it is.
Let's take a closer look at these.
There we go. Alright. The soil. The soil. The pot and soil, the pot and soil. In Flora's room. In Penny's room, okay. Found it at Fitz's greenhouse.
The pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It does.
It took me a long time to breed.
Aww.
The colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again. When she's not there, water the flower, change the soil. Just trying to keep it alive.
Aw. Okay. Well. It doesn't seem to relate to our case, but it gives us more on his movements on this side of the house, I guess. That could be relevant later if we find out what's in this room, because it would tell us that Fitz has a reason to be in Penny's room when Penny isn't there. Also, yeah, I love that Grimoire and Sally are very clearly a, co-detective team. Alright, so now we need to get these two. Let's start with the guy we talked to first, because it's been the longest time, and we have so much more stuff than we had the last time we spoke with you. Hello there. We have so much to ask you about. Gosh. Let's open with this weird rock.
That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not? It's
I
impressive,
don't even know if it's a rock.
but a little miserable for my tastes.
How about this photo that we now know is... That's Poppy. This is Freya.
My daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea.
Do you know about the gramophone and the horn statue, maybe? Because you're over here.
Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do.
I expect him to be dismissive of, everything, so this might be quick.
Now, this is still in very good condition. Apart from the crack, of course.
And the broken glass.
Shards on the inside of the horn.
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence. Cunning.
I wonder if the glass was the container that the beetle was in, and that's what started all this. Do you know anything about the gem fruit? Because I vaguely recall that the professor accused him of being concerned with money.
That looks like it might belong to Fitz.
Nope, sure not.
These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it?
About that bird.
Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd.
How? Why? Why is that odd? Actually, tell me about this model.
I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it. As you can see.
You know what? This actually I like.
Yourself too?
I do indeed.
I like that he's confident in his craftsmanship.
Kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Oh,
I own a great many, but my weapon.
good call, Grim.
Tangle Tower is safety first and all that.
Well done, Grim. All right, let's see. I kind of want to save this. Let's talk about this beetle.
What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
Oh, I wonder if the beetle is numbered 4,
If it's made
and the chalkboard and the thing in Fitz's greenhouse have a 4 on them. I wonder how much that all connects. Do you know anything about these earmuffs?
The statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the brass is slightly tarnished by the elements, but it's not too bad. Might be salvageable.
We know what this is. We know what these are. Ask about these, I guess. We know what this is. You know anything about this? That's a look. And I'm pretty sure that's a lie. Okay. We know what this is. We know what this is. We know about these. Tell me about this.
Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
I'm working my way to the harp. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Teenagers are funny, aren't they?
I'm worried that the harp is going to be something that we don't get until we've got the actual mystery solved. Because, like, everybody's been clueless about the harp. Brush and palette, I've also... Yeah, you know what? You actually might be the one person that this means something to.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
Ooh.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes. So we shall.
Let's ask about this, actually.
Yes.
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I find it comforting.
This might be a better clue for the professor, actually. Probably won't mean much. Okay, we are left with the harp.
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way.
Oh.
But I can't recall.
We should definitely, if we haven't already, we should ask Flora about this then. Let's see. Talk to me about the other patriarch.
Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what do you reckon?
That was interesting. I didn't advance that.
Murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
Tell me about yourself.
You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
That was a mistake, and I knew it. Tell me about Fifi.
My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
Thank you, Grimoire.
I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me this. She wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's...
I already disliked this man.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
Let's see. That's probably the only useful thing we're going to get out of you. Alright. We will leave you... Excuse me. We'll leave you here momentarily. Let's go all the way to the other end of creation. We'll get to Hawkshaw in a second. But you're the person who hired Hawkshaw. We've asked you about the beetle. Let's ask you about the harp.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is.
Interesting. What do you know? I didn't expect you to actually be the person that knew something about that. Tell me about the letter.
Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar.
Do both of the patriarchs know about this thing? Interesting. Okay, you I feel like we might get more from this.
Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
And I was wrong. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Okay, we've already asked you about Felix. That makes sense. We've already asked about Hawkshaw. Tell me about yourself.
I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I do like the moons of Jupiter.
Time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
There are so many. I've already asked you about literally everyone. Let's ask you about the musical instruments.
Pointer property originally.
Oh.
Purloined by the fellows. Typical. Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes.
Tell me about the gemstone fruit.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all. Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
But you have seen it. Right, Bedroad, I'm with you. I've been sitting going, 83 doesn't seem like enough moons of Jupiter, actually. Let's just exhaust everything, because we wanna find something to get Felix and Percival in a lie.
The process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same. I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar. I haven't seen that tape for a long time.
Oh.
Broke it.
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends.
Yeah, let's just work our way through.
Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
Is this important?
Possibly.
At this point, we're clicking on everything.
Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
At the moment, it was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
I thought the beetle was in there.
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license. This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know. These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I
Oh?
guess.
Why do you say that?
A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary.
Fair.
Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me.
The feathers. Oh,
I think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue. I've seen those earmuffs before.
okay.
Ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front gardening.
Okay, we knew that already.
Swears.
Whenever I've seen him, yes.
That matches what we know.
Small cage for 3 birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage?
Ah, yes. You and Poppy are definitely related.
What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
I think I should be able to keep an empty egg in my room. I agree.
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
Alright, so it seems like we're going to have to talk to somebody else to catch you in this, which I'm fine with. So, let's see. Let's start with Hawkshaw. Mostly because I like talking to Hawkshaw. What haven't we already asked you about? Ah, both of them.
Pointer is a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself. What?
I'm just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
Okay, that was great. What about Felix?
Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious.
Well, not wrong. Tell me about yourself.
314 cases solved.
That's the same number as pi.
And 14.
It's not quite, but it's just fun. I think that's as much useful as we're gonna get there. Tell me about the letter.
Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
No.
Ooh, the drawings. The professor mentioned that this must be recent.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
Thank you, Sally.
Model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others, anyway.
Okay, so that doesn't help us with the timeline. Anything about these earmuffs?
One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs. For blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
Oh, that's another thing too. Okay, so this is in the garden, this is in the secret garden, and this is in the music room. So wherever we find fishmen may also be where these rooms are. So if we look in the 2, wherever we find the fishman might be where these other things are. We should check the aviary to see if there's a fishman. What else can I ask her about? Let's ask her about all the paint stuff and see if one of them gets us to more details on
Paint is
Felix.
still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told?
Fair.
Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
I'd tell him not to quit his day job. But he has...
We also know that there's a strangely deep pool under the secret garden, which below that is where the empty, potential room on the map is.
Figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen. As these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
Okay, doesn't seem like we got anything terribly useful there. Let's ask about Fitz.
I'll say this. He's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse. But I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers. In secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless.
Honestly, let's ask you about everybody.
Considerably intelligent. and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition, no focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely.
Yeah, but you don't. She doesn't want to own a house. That's okay. Tell me about Poppy.
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite.
And Penny.
I find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoiled child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse.
All right. All right. Let me clear my head for a moment. Show me this thing that we haven't looked at.
I think it's a family tree.
All right. All right. So,
Selena Stonetop.
No family line. Apparently, she just appeared out of nowhere.
Felicia Fellow.
Freya's mother.
I guess she doesn't live here anymore.
all right. So she's still in the wind.
Damien Dusk. It's Freya's father. I guess he doesn't live here anymore.
A lot of that going around. Okay.
Emily Everstone. I guess she doesn't live here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Flora Remington.
We met her. She's one of the suspects.
Richard Remington.
The one and only.
So, if the harp and the grounds the towers were built by the Remington family, and we learned early on that Flora had a falling out with the siblings. Pretty sure that the Remington parents are no longer with us because they kind of inherited the tower.
Rose Remington. I guess she doesn't live here anymore.
Okay, all right. So Flora is the only Remington still in residence, and is probably our best chance at learning what the harp thing is all about. Okay. Remington Steel, very good. All right. Well, we still need to catch one of the other two. Let's keep working on Percy. Apparently there was a Remington involved in an earlier mystery in the series. Nice. Let's see. We've asked you. Oh yeah, I asked you about everybody because I wanted to get the poetry. Oh yeah, it's actually about the
When I
painting.
first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife with blood on the tip.
Don't think that anymore.
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock.
The room was
I'm just
dark.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing
Oh, this
about
poor
the knife
kid.
makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything.
Alright, let's ask about other drawings. Well, let's ask about drawings that might help.
Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do. Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No.
Freya took good care of her stuff.
Okay, but also you're surprised about the crack. That's
Whose
important.
paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
Interesting.
Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly.
Oh. How nice.
Okay, never mind.
That belongs to Flora, I think. What was inside?
Nothing.
Huh. There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. and there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
Interesting. Well, as long as we're here, let's go ahead and just finish the set.
I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
Does Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be a little protective.
Okay. Why isn't Fifi in the carvings? That's a great question, actually. We don't have a way to ask it discreetly, but that's a great question. We've asked you about everyone. Let's ask you about the case.
Finally! I can see the detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
Anything about this letter?
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue.
The beetle. Do you know anything about this beetle?
Not a fan of insects myself.
Fair.
Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I. Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Mm-hmm. Diary?
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess, too.
Excellent.
Statue?
Lovely.
Nope. Paints?
Oh, that's rather sad.
Nope. Missed it.
Ooh, a secret.
Nope.
That's our guess, too.
And
Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities.
I don't imagine we're gonna get much out of you. The painting, sure.
I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling, don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her.
Alright, I may have dismissed the lens too quickly. So we know that Hawkshaw brought this with her as a memento, hoping to get it signed. Maybe this is the key.
I don't know what that is.
If anybody else has seen this, maybe it could be a clue that we can use to trap the professor. How about
Haven't
this
seen
thing?
this one in a while.
Oh.
He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Alright.
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
Speaking of style.
What's worse, how she looks here or how she looks now?
Do you know who this is?
Rude.
In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
What's this about the weird tape?
Goodness me, Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it.
It's kind of like we've missed something.
Terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme.
Oh.
Obscene.
Obviously, we still have like lines of inquiry here, but all right. Let's see. Let's go back to the professor for a moment. I feel like we exhausted everything with you already, right? Let's ping you again. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back with this lens. Let's take the lens. Did we already ask Fifi about it? Because we had a whole bunch of people who thought it was Fifi's because they thought it was a microscope. Yes, we've asked you about almost everything. Oh.
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues.
You're not wrong.
I am scared of birds.
Oh.
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable explanation.
Oh.
That's good to know.
What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds, I think.
My argument stands.
Laughing.
The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I do not know the answer.
Interesting.
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood, not paint.
Oh.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered
She
rather reassuring.
was painting with blood. Okay, that's a revelation.
That blade.
Yeah, whose blood? Thank you, September. Also, hi, September.
It is.
Well, tell me about Pointer.
Percival Pointer. Age 57. Profession none.
Pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh, yes, of course. How uncharacteristically forgetful of me. Name Penelope Pointer. Age 27. Profession
Never apologize for cooking. You're all good.
birds. Dislikes insects. Notes Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her.
Oh, Fifi.
Name Poppy Pointer. Age 19. Profession. Apparently, Poppy has defaced my notes. Under profession, I had, of course, originally written pianist, but she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Yes! Papa, you're fantastic.
Name Hawkshaw. Age unknown. Profession private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard.
Hawkshaw. Like you're not a weirdo nerd. Please. Alright. Well,
There's something about Felix's painting supplies.
the blood.
Something.
Let's ask him about it.
Yes, 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 the blood. Okay, we did it. Okay. You, my friend. Nope, that's not the right thing. It's here. Suspicion.
About this paint we found in your room.
Nothing
Yeah, bud?
suspicious about it.
Are you kidding me?
To paint, obviously. Totally
My dude?
normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
Out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
My guy? It's not your paint pot. It has the wrong lid on. It's not your paint pot?
It's not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of discussion.
Oh, is it not the right color?
Discussion.
We need a clue to compare with Felix's
Okay, that was right. Hooray!
to prove who it actually belongs to.
Okay, let's go. Freya's paints, I'm assuming?
Let's take a close look.
Is this Dr. Eggman? So, what we've been able to gather so far in terms of why Hawkshaw is here is that the professor hired them to find out more about the golden beetle. We don't really know why. Alright, so... is it this and this, maybe? God, they're not quite the same, are they? Oh, wait, is it... maybe it's this and this? Freya's red paint was used... was used to paint the model of a bird. Hang on. Was broken by... Was stolen and replaced with... This is red paint pot. Is exactly the same. That does not look the same unless my eyes are playing tricks on me here. That's not right. Is used to paint is full of... Was stolen and replaced with. Yeah, very different shades of red. Thank you. At least I'm not completely off. Let's see. The logo! You're absolutely correct! You're absolutely correct. Thank you. Felix's red paint pot. Aha. Freya's red paint was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot. But the lids were swapped to hide it?
Freya's red paint pot was stolen.
Great eyes, thank you.
Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
I was zeroed in on the colors of the paint itself.
Not yours. Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are you bothering me about paint anyway? And none of this is connected to your murder.
Then why'd you do it? Let's see. Why is Felix stealing Freya's paint relevant to the murder? Well, I'm gonna guess blood was in it. Let's see. Blood was used to fill up this red paint pot. After Freya used it to paint Flora? By Freya several weeks ago? And then locked away before Freya used it to paint Flora? Well, it was also on the palette. Blood was used to fill up this red paint pot before Freya used it to paint Flora. That sounds correct. And emptied out onto the floor. That doesn't seem to make sense. This?
Blood was used to fill up this red paint pot before Freya used it to paint Flora. Nope.
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood. Is that it? That seems like the same sentence.
This red paint
Yeah, okay.
was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
Oh,
Seems like semantics, but alright.
that's definitely something. Right. Fine. Here's the story.
Ray's a terrible substitute for paint.
On a project, when I suddenly realized
It's Doug Stone, but it sounds a lot like Mike Pollock. It does.
there was a certain amount of time pressure. So I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know. Perfectly reasonable request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So, well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday. I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used a different color?
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit, insensitive.
Alright, that makes me think that you actually know precisely what happened and that it involves the bird. Alright. We'll deal with that once we solve the whole case. But first, we have to trap you in a lie. I don't know why I came here. This is not going to help. Alright. Let's come back here. Why isn't Fifi a carving? These are great questions. Let me go back to talk to you again. Because I think there's still people we haven't asked you about.
Freya was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way, in a good way.
Because it surprised me how we unlocked that suspicion. So I'm going to ask everybody about the lens.
Why don't you ask Fiona about that one? Looks like her area of expertise.
Yeah, everyone thinks that this has to do with Fifi, and they're all wrong.
Oh dear.
Do you know who this is?
Not a clue.
I low-key respect that no one is giving away Poppy's secret about that, actually. That's pretty great. Let's see. So these are all to do with Penny. What about this?
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Okay, how about this one?
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Okay, save yourself some money on the voice line.
Does Florin normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
Yeah, that's sweet. Fair do.
I've never
Trowel?
seen that before. Looks valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness me! Is that a clue? Really?
It might be.
I would also love a ceramic egg lockbox. It just seems wonderful. Sure, we'll just finish out the set while we're here.
Fits.
And this?
Things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry?
You're walking in a magic forest. You come across someone trapped in a Fabergé egg.
If they really wanted to.
Alright, I think we've... Nope, we haven't.
Fits? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything. Like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a brilliant young woman. Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so different.
Different, like how?
Poppy is, she's quite introspective, good with feelings. Fiona, not so much. Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger, always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle, and he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile.
Alright. So we're still striking... excuse me, still striking out on anything to trigger something with regard
Do you know
to
guy
the
in Eiffel
professor.
Tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
Indeed, would you say these families are alike in dignity? Oh, didn't ask him about Hawkshaw. Oh, I thought I did. Alright, we'll go back in a second. Let's ask him about Felix while we're here.
Felix, your husband.
Mhm.
He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try.
Nah. Actually, I'm curious what your reaction about Fifi is going to be.
Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist. You must be proud of her.
Difficult to read?
We spoke to Hawkshaw. I assume she didn't get anything out of you either. I bet that really ticked her off.
Is there anything... I'm going to ask about the harp just while we're here. Oh, okay. That was at least a little bit of a different reaction. I'm going to ask about the beetle.
Do you know anything about this beetle?
No, okay, fine. And the lens. No, okay. Worth a try. Back to the lad. And wake up. There.
Why Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that
Oh.
a real thing?
No, I just meant to be
Oh, you both have crimson cloaks?
red capes, of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine, supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some
This might be it.
item. Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it.
Just double checking. Damn. Alright, that wasn't it. Alright, so we've got that. Well. It's not gonna fit again. This is the investigative equivalent of pixel hunting now. Because I don't have anything logically that connects.
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too.
Okay.
Insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
Let's see, is there anything else around there? Oh, yeah, hang on while we're here.
Gave you that information.
Well...
We don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
I never thought about that.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know?
Alright, now was that the piece we needed? No, it was not. Alright. Felix?
Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely...
Yep, that's a goat.
I was just about to say the same thing.
And about yourself.
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's... me.
Yeah, that's... It was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see.
Let's see. What else? Let's ask about the drawing.
Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the back, too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized.
We've already asked about the lens. We already know everything about this. I'm gonna go, while we're here, you mentioned there's a note on the back here. These are Beulah, Freya. Okay. Nope. Too far. It's back in the flesh this time. Was it me that I let it out? Maybe I should rip up that painting. Soulbearer works. Impressive little thing. I have 2 now. Need 2 more. Found my way into the middle. Okay, the middle makes me think it's that missing room. Surprisingly simple compared to the harp. Okay. Saw them all 5. Eyes blacked out. Despite everything, I still have a promise to keep. I'll do my best. Okay. Huh. Hawkshaw says it's a handheld microscope used for detective work. Fifi says it's not a microscope, it has to be a telescopic lens. Hawkshaw admits the telescope she carries around for sentimental reasons.
A little chart of... Actually, I have no idea what...
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
Alright. Maybe that's for later. Alright. Let's keep talking to the pointers and see if we can trap Percival in something. You want to ask Fitz about the diary? Alright. I'm down. I'm out of other ideas. I don't have anything we haven't already asked about that seems like a contradiction.
Looks like someone doesn't want you to read that book.
That's the main thing making me want to read it.
Because the thing is, every time that we present the diary to somebody, they have to assume we haven't unlocked it yet. which means other than Fifi and Poppy, no one really gets anything out of it because no one knows that it's Freya's. So that is why I haven't really been poking around with that one too much. Although you know about Penny, so maybe this will be something about your engagement, and that might lead to something about Percy?
Do they have names?
Oh, they have names. Penelope loves to name things.
Remember what she named them?
I do not.
Fair. How about the
Looks like
tape?
it might belong to Poppy.
Fair.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Okay, at least we rolled those out. Paints, the models. These all have to do with Felix, and we've already taken care of that. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go back to Plan A. Is there anything we haven't asked Poppy and Penny about? Okay, it's checks all the way down. Ditto Penny. Zoop, zip, some zoop. Hello. Let's just start asking you about everything.
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
Nope. Yeah, this is pixel hunting. I'm just filling out the unfilled corners of the map, hoping that we stick to something, which is a little disappointing. Up until this point, I feel like I knew the threads that we were tugging on. Now I really have no idea what pieces I'm missing. And that's a little disappointing. Actually, hang on. Not Fitz. Hawkshaw. You're much more connected to the professor. I've already asked you about everybody.
Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
How long has it been since you checked whether we could solve the harp yet? Good call. I can go back there in a second here.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
Okay, good to know.
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty. Some breed of amphibious humanoid. Potentially bipedal. Although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess, well...
Oh!
Hmm.
Interesting thing.
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
I love how dismissive everyone is of the feathers.
These people really are ridiculous, aren't they? You consider that important evidence, do you?
It was very helpful a minute ago.
3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But
Like Diglett, no one knows what their feet look like.
finally,
I wonder if they would.
Trowel.
This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around.
Alright. Back to Fitz. We're running ahead of things to ask about. My friend, talk to me. Asked you about all the peoples.
There's something off about this.
Oh,
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly.
what? Okay.
Plants are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red,
Maybe that was just a clue about the blood.
white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form. It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it, but it was empty.
Fun story. Felix made that. That's quite sweet, really.
Okay. Well, he told us to go back to Flora's room. We will do that thing. And then we'll check the harp again and see if we have something new.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it?
Looks that way.
Freya added the blood to the painting herself. Her red paint was swapped out with blood. Flora is not holding a knife. She's holding a red and white. Okay, so it's updated everything here, but we knew that already.
Freya's painting supplies.
Okay. I can listen to Sally read a phone book. It's a very good voice. I looked for egg-shaped containers, but they don't exist online. Oh no.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Alright, so none of this has changed. I think we've already asked you... No, we haven't.
Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials. What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know. Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker. Grimoire, what could you possibly be writing down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins.
Eh? Let's see. That's about the paints. So send us back here. Nothing.
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any hobbies? This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter?
The drawings? We're gonna try
Is this
everything.
your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
At least it'll be quick.
Do you recognize any of these feathers?
Oh. That seemed like a no.
Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general?
Eh. She can't talk. There's a beetle in her mouth. If that ends up being true, I'm gonna laugh out loud. Alright. Let's see. Something we haven't talked to Phoebe about. I'm no longer considering anything irrelevant at this point, so we're just gonna ask anything we haven't already... Is there anything we haven't asked? Maybe there's a puzzle I've missed. Our inventory seems like it has space... Hey, Dave. It seems like it has space for one item. I think we've asked everybody about everything. Okay, harp.
I'm still not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look?
Nope, can't be solved yet. All right.
Let's come back later.
Four feathers and 3 birds in a cage. Is the 4th one missing? That's a good point.
It's a big stone
I
die.
guess when first one too.
Alright, let's see. About everybody. Nothing there. Was there a puzzle with the flowchart? Flowchart. If you can remember what room that was in, let me know. Let's see, there was the birds here. We solved that. That was this.
We already solved it.
Yeah, that was the genealogy one. Yep. There were the weird charts. There was the feathers here. There was the hot wall. Let's see. Is there a frog in here? There's actually not a frog in here.
My little writing desk.
There's nothing written in the book. Although someone's turned.
So this might be...
I don't like mirrors.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
So this might be where the note that we've got was written.
A rather magnificent bush, somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
You know where else we haven't been in a hot minute?
Oh.
What?
Oh. There's
Oh
an
yeah, Tangle.
Twar.
Oh! It's a bell! It's a freaking bell!
Why would
Oh,
not?
okay, so...
It's a little...
Maybe this is the bell room. Okay, alright. So, bell, garden, here, there? And that's this? I still don't know what that means. But maybe that's it. Okay. We tried to check whether Fiona's wall was warm. Unfortunately, in Fiona's room, we can't look at the wall to our right. There were two weird charts, right? Fifi has one, Fitz had the other. Technically, there's two charts. There's a blackboard in the library, and there's another one in Fifi's room. Go back to the boat. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Hang on. Go back. Hang on. What's this? Search the astronomy tower. Oh, hang on. Nope. That. Search the astronomy tower. Okay, so there's something in this room we've missed. We solved this already, right?
Solved it.
And that got us the thing. So there's something else in this room?
There's something kinda... I just expected a
Oh,
bit...
does it not compare to all the other astronomy towers you've been to? A bell jar. It's empty.
What do people normally keep in bell jars?
Other than bells, you mean?
I really thought we clicked on everything in here.
There's something kinda... I just
Oh,
expect...
does it not compare?
Pretty.
It's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also daytime.
It's too cloudy.
It's also daytime.
Constellations? No. Charts?
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you? It's a chart. Which planet? A picture frame.
With no picture.
Picture room with no picture.
It's full of tea.
Criminal.
Miss Tidy, the notebook.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start...
Miss Tidy, the notebook.
So, even the most well...
I really thought we clicked on, like, literally all of
Miss
these.
Tidy, the notebook.
So, even the...
Because they're all the same.
Miss Tidy, the notebook.
So, even the most
What,
well-used...
a chair?
Miss Tidy, the notebook.
Nope.
Even the most well-used notebooks.
How about the telescope?
I want to try.
Oh, the... Okay.
You can see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. Behind her is the back side of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting. I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle.
It's that little plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
Don't you think it would fall off? In the wind.
Maybe it's glued down.
I can just about see the gramophone.
Is that a window?
I think it is.
Is there another room above Flora's room?
That's a great question.
Check that next time we're over there.
Yeah, alright.
I can see the doorway. It leads into the hall. The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges.
Okay, that tracks.
It's too dark back there. I can't really see anything.
Okay, alright.
It's the tower opposite this one. Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
I can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
There's something.
Ah ha 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 ha. Got it. Okay,
Something.
in the 11th hour, we got there.
Let's ask him about it.
We were looking everywhere except in the room with the suspect.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh, go on.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
Let's go. Tangle Tower, actually. Seems really... Well, or the Golden Beetle. Golden Beetle? Golden Beetle.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into a...
Hey, Edwin! We have some theories. This is our last suspicion. But I'm still holding out... I'm still holding on to the fact that there might be a surprise here. Let's see, it was on top of... was actually... Okay, Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene. And not about the sky.
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene.
But it was Grimoire and Sally all along. Again, not ruling it out.
Being a lowly entomologist, now you're accusing me of what?
A lowly entomologist.
Spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora
Okay.
you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very precious specimen, incredibly rare, valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around, both towers and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She
Oh.
was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark, and the telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
Right, apart from that.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
Let's do it. And there we go. Here we go. And away. Oh, the harp.
Freya was definitely up to something.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Maybe we should go back and check. And we could have missed something.
Yep. Oh, crab. Time for crab.
This wasn't here before.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
This is my new friend. He likes music. Simple melodies will move his soul. Best of luck, you two. Freya. A wooden toy of some kind, a layer of dark ink lays beneath a sheet of glass. It's like a living Rorschach test. Okay.
What do you think? Is it really from her?
It's spoops time.
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
Okay.
well, it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Yes.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
What? Okay. Well, so I think we figured out the locations where we're gonna take the little toy. I guess that's gonna, like, find the things that we'll need to tune the stages of the harp to, but we've actually just hit the end of our time, so that worked out really well. What a heck of a cliffhanger. Woo, that's not the direction I thought this was going in. It's a spooky, scary story now. That's, I thought it was gonna be all about just like, like a real estate grab kind of situation, or maybe like a tragic Gift of the Magi thing involving a beetle and a lost bird, and maybe that's also happening. But first, we've got a weird, the weird thing with a crab Rorschach test. This got so weird so fast. Yeah, well, hang on. So, let's go ahead and put up the schedule. So we'll be back with, I guess we'll finish this on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll pick up with Crab. Time for Crab. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and pass it on over to twitch.tv/squirrellily. September, are you streaming more Volume tonight? I believe was the plan, or are you moving on to a new game? This is, whew. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out as always. Oh god, it's Thursday, you're right. Sorry, missing week messes with me all the time. Alice is streaming tonight, which means it's Final Fantasy 12? It's the missing week. It's the week between Christmas and New Year's, and my brain doesn't know how to do time. And also, we just found a spooky crab that a ghost left us, so yeah, it sure is Thursday. But yes, so, it's the same channel, different streamer. But it'll be Alice doing, I believe, Final Fantasy 12, assuming that network is all good and solid on y'all's end. So, we'll toss a raid their way in just a moment. I think that's it. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, and I will hope to catch you next time. Good night.